Hello everyone, so today I'll be doing a speed test with two bows. The Mariner Warring States 1 full carbon core and the Mariner Spring and Autumn 1 bamboo bow. I'll be using two arrows. This is a lighter one, it's a 600 spine, 368 grains, whereas this one here is heavier, 500 spine, 430 grains on this arrow. So this brown one here is the heavier one, this black one here is the lighter one. Each of this arrow will be shot at two different lengths. So you can see that on this part here, I've already marked a line. So this line here, the first line here, is measured 28 inch from the knot groove. Okay, 28 inch from the knot groove. And I'll be pulling it back such that it will be aligned to the back of the arrow pass. This is how most people gauge their arrow speed. They will draw it to 28 inch to the back of arrow pass like this. So I've seen a lot of people make a speed test, but they kind of draw until like this, where this 28 inch is measured from the belly side, and that's not what most people do, because when you do so, you gain about 1.5 inch of extra draw length. Not only that, but the string at the back here actually also becomes longer, because as we draw back like this, you can see that the ring is actually behind the nock. So we actually gain almost 1/2 inch of draw length from here, and then you have another 1.5 inch from here. And as a result, a lot of people, when they do a test that draws until like this, where the 28 inch mark is to here, they actually draw 30 inch, not 28 inch. So I'm trying to stick to the norm in the archery community. So 28 inch to the back of the arrow pass. Okay, that will be the first measurement. And then I also do another measurement. This is where I normally draw to. So on this arrow, I have a second marking, which also corresponds to when I fully draw this arrow. This is what I normally use. So when I draw until my full draw, I actually be touching the rounded part on this point here, and that is corresponding to the second marking over there. This would be 30.375 inch draw length. Alright, these measurements are based on knot groove to whatever I told you just now. So I did not account for the approximately 1/2 inch of extra length caused by the ring. Most people don't account for this one, so I'll just follow whatever the norm is. Okay. Okay. So another thing is that, how did I measure the poundage on my bow? Despite what I told you about, okay, have I told you about the poundage on the bow? No, right? Okay. So this Warring States 1, okay, Warring States 1 full carbon core is 29 pounds at 28 inch and 40 pounds at 34 inch. However, Mariner measured their bow from here, the belly side. This is not the convention. Okay, this is not the convention. So most people measure, again, is from here. So therefore, I have to do my own measurement. And the way that I do my measurement is that I place the arrow here. I mark the 28 inch just now that I told you, and I pull it back with a bow scale. I'm not doing it now, but I did it before. So I pull it back. I put a bow scale here beneath the arrow to pull it back until this reaches 28 inches and 30.375 inch respectively. So the weight that I got on this bow is 27 pounds. Okay, 27 pounds at 28 inch from back, or 30 pounds at 30.375 inch from back. Similarly, I did the same measurements here, and what I got is 28 pounds at 28 inch from back, and 33 pounds at 30.375 inch from back. Okay, I'm converting everything to the norm from back. So in total, I'll be shooting 8 arrows, and I'll include the grain per pound calculation in the description, because there will be 8 of them, so it will be very confusing if I just announce them here. Thank you. Alright, before I do the speed test, I first have to declare that the poundage I'm using right here is way too low, like super low. So even with this arrow here, which is not that heavy actually, at 28 inch draw length, I'm getting 15.93 grain per pound. So this is definitely not representative of the full potential on this full carbon core. If you have higher poundage, you can reach lower grain per pound, which give you more speed. But unfortunately, even with the lightest arrow I have, it's like 12 plus grain per pound. So anyway, I'll still test this one and do a comparison with my bamboo bow. Okay, so 28 inch draw length, 15.93 grains per pound.
Slightly less. Slightly less. Okay.
So 15.93, 28 inch draw length, we got 157.3 feet per second. So for the second shot, 30.375 inch draw length, that will give me 14.33 grain per pound. So that's like Manchu draw grain per pound. So almost 173 feet per second for a 14.33 grain per pound. The next one, lighter weight arrow. So this one will be at 28 inch, which gives me 13.63 grain per pound.
Okay.
We got 168.3 feet per second. So for the next shot, 30.375 inch draw length, the grain per pound will be 12.27. This is the lowest I can go because that's the lightest arrow that I have. So the cameraman will identify for me when I reach the draw length, 30.375 inch.
More.
Like that?
More. Alright.
So 184.4 feet per second. Okay, now is the spring and autumn bamboo bow. Okay, I'm going to tell you honestly, first of all, the poundage is very low, so don't expect very high performance out of like 30 something pound bow. Anyway, the first test will be a 28 inch draw, which will give me 15.36 grain per pound.
Less. Okay.
Okay, 142. It's very close to 142. Alright, so the next shot, I'll be doing 30.375 inch draw length. That will give me 13.03 grains per pound. We got 163. So for this shot, 28 inch, which gives me 13.14 grain per pound.
Over. Okay.
147 feet per second. Alright, so for the last shot, this one, 30.375 inch draw length, gives me 11.15 grains per pound.
More. Okay.
166 feet per second. Alright, so after the speed test, based on the results that I have, it's quite interesting because these two bows seems to perform very differently. So the full carbon core Warring States 1 corresponds very well when you change the draw length and arrow weight. With a longer draw length, it stores more energy and therefore more power. Also, when you have lower arrow weight, you get lower grain per pound, you also get more speed. However, on the spring autumn, it does not seem to be the case. The changing the arrow weight or the grain per pound makes very minimal difference to the arrow speed. Instead, it corresponds very well to draw length. So increasing the draw length or the power stroke makes a big difference in arrow speed, but changing the arrow weight alone makes almost no significance, no difference in the arrow speed, which is very weird because most of the time changing the arrow weight will make a difference, but in this case it doesn't seem to make much arrow speed difference. So for example, when I go for 28 inch, okay, 28 inch spring autumn, going from 15.36 to 13.14 grain per pound, we go from 142 to 147 feet per second. That is like 5, that's not much. For a 30.375 inch draw length, going from 13.03 grain per pound down to 11.15 grain per pound, we have 163 to 166, 3 feet per second, not significant. But when you change the draw length, there's a big jump from 142 to 163, 147 to 166. So the bamboo bow, spring autumn bamboo bow corresponds to draw length difference, but not much to arrow weight difference. Whereas the Warring States 1 full carbon core, it makes a big difference. When you go from 15.93 grain per pound at 28 inch draw length to a 12.27 grain per pound at 30.375 inch, it goes from 157 to 184 feet per second. But again, because the poundage I have is really weak, like 30 pound range is weak, so getting 184 feet per second is pretty good. It's actually pretty good. But if you were to use something like 40 pounds, 45 pounds, there is no doubt that the speed is going to be way better than what I have right here. Finally, I would like to give a quick summary of what I think of these two bows. This one here, the Warring States, is extremely smooth, like seriously smooth. Like I'll just try to draw and let you visualize how smooth it is. It's like effortless. Whereas this one, the spring autumn, it does feel like a longbow. It stacks. So I'll try to visualize it. So this is where it starts to go up. Okay, here it's soft and goes up. So you can feel that it's soft and it goes up. Whereas that one is just all the way smooth. In terms of speed, well, obviously this is definitely the faster one. But it does come with some hand shock. So this bow here, when I first got it and I first shot it, I was actually a bit surprised. The speed is good, no doubt about speed, but the hand shock was there. I can definitely feel the hand shock. Not much vibration, but the hand shock is definitely there. And this is something that I'm a bit surprised. I'm not sure whether it's just me getting used to the hand shock, or the bow actually, after a break-in period, it becomes more comfortable, because now when I shoot it, the hand shock does not interfere. It does not. It is not significant enough for me to notice. Of course, if you try to pay attention to it, yes, you feel a small amount of hand shock, but the hand shock seems to have significantly dropped down compared to the first time that I use it. So either I'm getting used to the hand shock and therefore I don't feel it anymore, or maybe the material does require breaking in, and therefore after using it for about a week, the shock has significantly reduced and it actually feels quite pleasant now. Whereas the spring autumn, this one here, because there's less power to begin with, in terms of post-release feel, it has way less hand shock. In fact, actually you don't feel anything. So in terms of shooting feel, definitely this one is the most pleasant one. This one comes close, not when it's new, but after the break-in period, it feels close. It's not bad at all. Like, I would describe it as I can shoot whole day with it without being disturbed by it. It's just that the first time when I first owned it, very moment when I first shot it, I was a bit surprised. Like, oh, why is there any hand shock? It could also be because I've been using this for a long time and there's none from this bow. So the moment when I switched to this one, I was a bit surprised that there is a bit of hand shock.